Of course, we can start with India because it was my first destiny. Throughout my journey, and the first effect of how to bring awareness to the people, because the rivers everywhere are polluted. And when I started to document the documentation about the importance of water in India, in religion, and also in for the daily use, I found out that the river is in many parts so much polluted that the water is dead, and there can be no life anymore in these waters, not even microbiological, not even the smallest life, because the water is dead, like Yamuna River in Agra, where is the Taj Mahal, cannot be used anymore. So I just select some pictures from India and then some pictures from my country, where I also work on the subject water. And I met a woman, she studied politics and she wrote her doctorate about water rights. She made a lot of researches about water rights in our culture, and after that I found out also that in the religions about water rights, because water rights is the basic right of human being. Everyone should have rights to get clean water for drinking, washing. And so I continued to make documentations not only in my country but also in Egypt, because Egypt has the River Nile, and the River Nile is flowing through 6 important countries. And also there I found out that people pollute the rivers, or this only one river, with chemical pollution from industry, from pharma concerns. In Aswan there have been people ill because of the chemical products they throw into the river. And in the delta of the Nile, there is also the pollution such that people get ill of this pollution. So I was questioning myself how the people could get more awareness, how to keep the water clean, and also how to reach out to all those big companies who pollute the rivers as well, but also the people themselves, because they throw all the rubbish inside. There is no recycling system in the countryside, so people that they don't get help from the government, so they don't know also how to keep the water clean. So this is an issue all over the world, and all the big rivers all over the world are so polluted, and if we don't have clean water, then how we can go forward? This is always my question. So Already as a teenager, I dreamed to travel to India to meet the saints and holy persons living high up in the Himalaya mountains. A book of Heinrich Harrer about Himalaya has fascinated and inspired me all throughout my apprenticeship as a photographer. Then in 1984, my inner wish was fulfilled and I traveled to India for the first time. But it was in 1998 when my travels became a pilgrimage. On each of my visits to India for the following 7 years, I went on Himalayan pilgrimages to the holy places and sacred sources which all Hindus, especially the sadhus, ascetic monks, holy men, yogis, wish to experience one time in their lives. The inner and outer purification of body, mind, and soul, the cleansing of sins and regrets from this one, as well as many past lifetimes, they wish of every devout Hindu. Also, I became aware more and more during those years that the experience of this pilgrimage in this life was like a tonic for my soul. I felt at home with those people, with their culture, with the landscape and nature. Mata Ganga, the mother of the river of life, calls all those souls whose innermost desire it is to follow the light within. Pilgrimages are a part of every religion. Going to a sacred place can be helpful in finding the sacred space that lies within. Christians travel to Jerusalem, Rome, or walk the path of St. Jacob. Muslims go to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Hindus and Buddhists walk around the holy Mount Kailash in Tibet. At the end of our lives, however, when the soul leaves the body, a voyage begins which, for all people from all religions and all cultures, has the same goal. We all return to our source, all one. So my first travels in India leaded me to those holy places on the river side of Ganga, the mother of all rivers, and I was having the opportunity to live with yogis in this mountain areas, Himalaya, and I spent quite many time with them. I was coming often to India to make documentations about the life of real yogis who are from different orders in India and who are spending their life on the riverside, in caves, and as walking sadhus or monks all their lifetime. And I was also welcomed from these people or of these people, and it was always intuition that leads me from one yogi to another one, and they also advises me which holy places or which holy cities in India I should visit, like Varanasi. Varanasi is one of the most holy places in India, and I guess all over the world. And they say that in the Sanskrit scriptures, it is the oldest city in the world. It is written in the holy scriptures of the Vedas. And Varanasi is a place where the Hindus won't finish their life because of coming out of the circle of death and birth, because the Hindus, and also Buddhists, they are believing in karma, the reincarnation of their souls in another body again and again. So I tried also to visit those places and made documentations there many times. I was using also middle format camera, Hasselblad, because and film and dia slides because of the moments and the moments of capturing a picture. This is the moments of meditation and being one with the subject and not running and hurrying around, just to stay there, put my camera out, make everything ready to make a good shoot, and knowing that I have not many pictures to take with one film. So many time on my travels I was using Hasselblad camera, middle format camera, and in Varanasi the people, they used to bring themselves there, to die there, to be buried there. I mean, they burn their bodies, and the ash they throw in the river. It's also a fact that is not, let's say, not very good for the river, because the river become polluted also from this issue. The people there in the modern times, they try to keep the river clean in this site, but million of people are pilgrim there, and many of the people, they die there, or they bring their relatives, and it's sad to see this, but I don't know how this will change. Yeah. So I have only some of all the pictures. He is also photographer. We went in the same school, and once when they were traveling to Nepal in Himalaya, he found a man who was producing this wonderful paper, handmade paper. They live in a very simple place. They have no electricity, they have no streets, they have a very simple life there. But this paper is made of special trees that are growing in the Himalayas there. You have to walk maybe 3 or 4 hours to get to reach to this village. And through this meeting with this people from this village in the Himalaya mountains in Nepal, Lapka is his name. This paper was coming to Europe through this friend, also photographer, and he sold the paper in throughout Europe for artists and for photographers like me. I started to print on this paper, and as you can see, the effect of this canvas handmade paper is very nice, and the pictures are unique. Those yogis are from center of India. They are from the Vishnu order, for example. There are many different orders, 14 different orders of yogis in India. They are Vishnuites. They are devotees of Lord Vishnu. There are three main lords. It's Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma is the creator of the whole universe. Vishnu is the one who keep the universe safe, and Vishnu is the renewer and destroyer of cultures of the world and the universe. And those people, or these two yogis, are from the Vishnu order, and you can see it also on the sign that they used to have on their head. And they use also woolen shawls and cotton. They live in simple places, like you see in this place. It's just a room with a sacred holy fireplace. This fire should never should always burn, so they used to put day and night wood inside, and they live there. And here you see a pot. This is the kumb with the water of the river Ganga. Normally they have always Ganga water with them. If they are not close to the Ganga river, they used to put normal water. But the original kumb is the cup where the nectar of immortality is carried. I mean, the people used to have significance festivities of the Kumbh Mela, of the nectar of immortality, and the important role that it plays in the spirituality of India. It is helpful to know something about the background of the sacred Ganges river. The devout believe that simply by bathing in the Ganges, one is freed from their past sins, karma, and this one becomes eligible for liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Of course, it is said that a pure lifestyle is also required after taking a bath. Otherwise, one will again be burdened by karmic reactions. The pilgrims come from all walks of life, traveling long distances and tolerating many physical discomforts, such as sleeping in the open air, in near freezing water. They undergo these difficulties just to receive the benefit of taking a bath in the sacred river at Kumbh Mela. And these Kumbh Mela festivals held place every 4 years on 4 sacred places where are 4 sacred rivers. And the most important Kumbh Mela is always after a 12-year cycle in Allahabad. And during this time, Allahabad is a huge city of tents. There are millions and millions of people. When I have been there, 2001, maybe there have been 33 million people around this time in Kumbh Mela. They built a mega city of tents organized by maybe 55,000 policemen and sanitary hospitals and bathing places, toilets, and everything. It's like a big city, like a city for during maybe 4 through 6 months. And during these times, all the yogis all over India come to these most important festivals of these four holy places, because they say that after this 12-year circle, also the yogis that are living hidden in the mountains of Himalaya, they will meet each other and they will share their experiences during these last 12 years. And many millions of Hindus, but also millions of foreign people are coming to these festivals, because it's all about Kumbh Mela, the pot that is filled with the nectar of immortality. And they are cleaning themselves from their past sins. So during this time when I have been in India, I also made another documentation about the forgotten widows of India. It was in 1998. I visited the Austrian ambassador in New Delhi, who told me the story of the widows at Vrindavan, the birthplace of Lord Krishna. On the way back from the Kumbh Mela ceremony in Haridwar, I decided to visit them. Unfortunately, I only had 3 days left on my itinerary, and I spent the first day in the 3 enormous ashrams which were founded in 1913. Every day, 80 widows come here to receive their rations of rice and dal. The ashrams are funded through the private donations of pilgrims. The widows gather daily for communal prayers, to sing and to support each other. They live in ruins and decaying derelict houses, as these are the only places where no one bothers them. I spent a whole day with them and became so moved that I could hardly bring myself to leave. The time was tragically too short. I can show you a documentation that I have made about this widows in India. And it was published in a newspaper, Hong Kong newspaper.
Oh, Hong Kong.
Yes.
Wow.
I just have to search it of the local foundation. But I was able to ascertain that there is absolutely now here for the widows to turn, and no one to help them to deal with their problems. In the countryside, when these women's husbands die, they become outcasts within their communities, and most have to flee to the cities to survive. Up until recently, widows were expected to cause cremation together with the corpse of their husbands. Some of the women chose to become wandering sadhvis or nuns, or to join nunneries. Others simply end up begging in the streets. Why does a country that is renowned for its spirituality not care of its mothers? This is a fact that I will never understand, and I am deeply shocked that this really happens in India. India has many faces. One of them looked darkly at me as I met the widows of Vrindavan. It is my hope that one day this face will change its expression. And this was also a very important moment in my life where I was asking myself what religion it is that is not taking care about their mothers. In this time, I already was interested again in Islam, and I went to the Nizamuddin Aulia also in this year. I remember not only in this years, but also the years after that. I went frequently to visit the Aulia Nizamuddin Maqam in New Delhi. And I was feeling very, very peaceful at these places. I also was visiting other dargahs and shrines throughout my voyage through India. I not only visited holy places of the Hindus. So after this experience, I started to question myself how the people can worship goddess and treating their own mothers and girls like this, because there are also it is very well known that if the women these days, they know that they will get a girl, they make abortus because they cannot carry the fee of marriage, because in India is used that the family from the girls are paying the wedding. So this was starting to be a change for me in my life, and later on I went also to Konya in Turkey to make documentation in Konya from the Maqam of Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi. I spent some time there, and I have got the Holy Quran in Konya, and I started to read again about Islam and Quran, and I also read again more about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and about the awliyas. So in 2008 there was a big change in my life because my flat took fire and my son was inside the flat. I was at work, and he, in this time, he had a mobile phone and called the fire department, and they told him to keep calm. They tried to call me, and he should not go out of his room until they come and take him out of the room. So when I came back from my work, immediately after they called me and told me that my flat took fire in 2008, so I hurry at home, and I have seen that all my home was destroyed, apart the room of my son Amir, whom they took out from the window. So I have seen that all my equipment was destroyed and everything was black, and basically we could not use anything anymore from these things. And we also got another flat from the government. But the most important moment in my life was that the Holy Quran from Konya that I got from Konya in 2004 was shining on the ground and open. So it was like a sign. It was like a sign for me to maybe look deeper inside this holy scripture. And I started to read it in German first, again and again and again and again. And during this year, I had 3 exhibitions in Egypt already fixed up, and I don't want to go because of this happening, because it was happening in March and the exhibitions have been in May. So I don't want to go because I was thinking I can't leave my son alone now, but everybody was telling me, no, you should go because everything is arranged and you have made the appointments 1 year before. So I went, and through my deep inner intention and through my inner feeling, I was wishing to become a Muslim, and I asked somebody from there to help me to convert to Islam officially, because deep inside my heart I was calling out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he may guide me to the correct path, to the truth, and help me to meet people who are living the real Islam, who are guiding me to the right path in Islam and showing me the right way. So I decided to convert into Islam, and it was just of my inner desire, and I was so happy that that my son was alive. So it was the most important thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me in this moment, because material things they go and come, and it's not really important, because anyway one day we have to leave this world and we have to go without nothing. But life is the most important thing. And I was very happy that my son was alive, and this was also a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he that I have known that he was loving me and want to guide me to the right path. From young age, because when I have been 8 years old, my mom was, I guess, working at the night, and I was with my brother alone at home. My father was also on tour with his American people, tourists, I think Middle Europe, and I was around maybe 8, 9 years old, maybe, yes. And I have got a lot of fear. I was very, very afraid, and couldn't go to sleep. I was in the kitchen, sitting in the kitchen, and then I felt that some person entered or passed by and was talking to me and telling me that I has not to be afraid, because you will be always protected, like white, like a person in white. Like, for me, I was thinking maybe it was Jesus in this time, because I was religious, because I went every Sunday in the church, and I was very happy to go there. And for me, God was always not present in the out form of what everything is inside the church. It was the light that I have seen always. They put in this church where I went to pray on Sunday with the family. There was a light upon the altar, and for me, God was always light, not any figure or anything you see, because I was thinking that you cannot see God, you cannot explain, or in any form you cannot show Him. So for me, God in this time was light. So I was always a little bit, let's say, religious, and when I was 13 years old and got this book from Heinrich Harrer, The Himalaya is Blowing, I saw this photograph from Swami Sundaranand in this book, sitting on the Ganga bank in Gangotri up in the mountains, and I wish inside, when I have seen this picture, I was around 13 years old, my wish inside myself, my heart, was to go there one day and to become a photographer and to know more about these people sitting on the Ganga bank, meditating and living a ascetic life up in the mountains. So the next step was that my father was having a taxi company, and there was the Olympic Games in Innsbruck, and he brought at home many black and white photographs from ski running. Some press photographer has forgotten it in the taxi. So I was looking at these pictures, and behind there was the stamp copyright, like Bierbaumer, copyright Frisch auf. These were photographs in this time from my hometown. And I was dreaming about making my own pictures and putting my own stamp on it. So there, all these dreams and wishes become, like, let's say, manifestation, because with the pictures, with this book, with this wish to travel, to find out about this life, about the yogis in the Himalaya. I was not good in school, and my parents, they say to me, if you are not learning, you have to learn a profession. So they said, you have to choose something that you want to learn, a profession if you don't want to go to school. So I said, okay, maybe I can become someone who can decorate the shops or interiors or photographer or making jewelries. So I have these three wishes. I told them, and by destiny I went to a shop to represent myself, and they and she asked me, it was a woman in this company, and she asked me why I want to be a decoration. I want to learn this profession and so on, because I said I want some profession that is creative. And she said, after some time she called me and she said, I'm sorry, but we are not taking girls, so if you don't mind, I have a friend, she's a photographer, and I can call her, and if you want to become a photographer, I can ask her if there is a free place to learn photography. Because it's a dual system. You work, and 2 months in the year you go to school. So she called this lady, and this lady said, yeah, it's okay, I need someone right now. She should come, and let's see. And I went there to this master photographer, and she took me immediately. So there my time to learn photography started. And this time we had an old studio with big size cameras. We made black and white photography. We also made photography for the Congress Center, because she has the license to be there all the time when there were congresses, and we developed pictures in black and white. It was a very hard work. We have to be very quickly, but in this studio I learned photography really from the ground, how to use the chemical things to make the liquids for developing, also how to develop big size pictures, black and white. In this time we were having very big place to develop also pictures by hand, like big like a door, because in this time there was no print service or any print shop, or you could only get black and white pictures in big sizes. And after this was 3 years, this dual system school. I made my exams, and after this I was dreaming to travel, but I did not know how, because I didn't have money. So I was searching for a work where I could get some money. So I found a work in a place where a touristic place, where in this time you can get a lot of money for people skiing with ski groups and so on. And I was thinking I will travel to America to visit my uncle, to stay some time there. But after that, in this year, my father passed away, and everything changed immediately. I was very sad and asking myself what I do now in this situation. What should I do? And I was deciding with a friend of mine. She also finished her school, that we go to Italy, to Sicily, to live there, to stay there, and to look if we find a work there. And I said, okay, why not? And we went there. Before I met my husband, my first husband there, I went also to Tunis with the ship from Trapani in Sicily. This was the first time when I was in a Muslim country, listening the Adhan, and we were traveling like, let's say, calendar, because we really didn't have much money. We were sleeping under the cars or in a very cheap youth hostel, depend where we were traveling. And after this, when I came back, I met my first husband, and he asked me if I want to come with him to India. So we traveled the first time to India together, and we didn't know where to go, because in this time we have only a map, a map from India. We have no book about anything, but but at the station in Delhi, as we know that we don't know where to go, one officer came and asked us to come in his office, and he said, "Where you want to go?" And we said, "We don't know, maybe north, maybe south. It's everything is open for us." So he said, "Okay, so you have to go to north first, because monsoon is coming, and now monsoon is in south, so you go to north first, and you stay there. You go to Ladakh, you go to Kashmir, you go to Dharamsala, where is the residence, the exile of Dalai Lama. You first see this part, and after the monsoon is coming, up to the mountains and finish in the south, so you are safe." So we did like he told us, and we went first to Kashmir, Srinagar. We have been there traveling around and living with families there who invited us to stay with them. And from there we went to Ladakh by bus, then we returned. We went to Dharamsala, and from Dharamsala back to Delhi, and then to Jaipur, Agra, Jaipur, and to South India, Kerala. This was my first travel to India, and I have only, in this time, there was no digital camera or anything. I have only some rolls of films, so I have to take very much care about which pictures I took really. And in this time I also was still shy to take pictures from people. I have only very rare pictures from people in this time, but very beautiful pictures and moments that I captured in this time. After this trip, we have to go back via Karachi, and in Karachi I have seen the first time the Holy Quran, and I was opening the Quran and was thinking, oh, what a beautiful letters, and this must be a holy book, because it looks like a holy book. Maybe one day I can read it. Maybe I have to search for a translation or something, but I won't know what there is written inside. So we came back, and we still lived in Sicily, and we were building a house of bamboo. For many months we were cutting the reeds and cleaning them, drying them, and building our house. And after that, when I was pregnant with my first, or with our son, we were thinking to go back to a normal life, let's say to go back to Innsbruck and to my hometown, and look what we can do, how we can live and earn money and so on. I continued to work as a photographer in several studios, and he was playing music, learning music, because he is a musician. And after our divorce, he went to Konya with our son, and also to Diyarbakir. It's in east of Turkey. Van Lake was the name, and then they returned. And my ex-husband, he brought me a ney flute and also a lot of informations about Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi. And I was very interested in it because another miracle happened when I was 13. My father brought me some figures, small figures, and one of these figures was a whirling dervish. And this whirling dervish was always with me, and I was asking myself what he is doing with this beautiful coat, with this head cover, and his hand up to the sky, and one hand going down to the earth. So when I got these books from Konya, from my ex-husband, it was so beautiful because it was explained very easy, and the story of Jalaluddin Rumi, and also like it was a book like cartoons. And so I started to read really a lot of books of Islam, about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Books from Annemarie Schimmel, who is a known professor for Orientalistic, and she was the first woman on the university in Istanbul and Ankara. And I also started to try to learn Arabic letters, because I wanted to know more about this holy book. I have, in this time, I didn't got any book in Arabic, but in German. So I started to read, but and in this time I met my second husband. He was Egyptian. We met us in Innsbruck, and we have been married around 3 years. We have a son together also. And when we divorced, I did not know, I wanted to know anything anymore about Islam, about this religion, about anything about Arab people, because this marriage was not working out very well. So I started again to research in the field of yogis, and was going back to Hinduism. Like, I mean, I was more interested. I kept everything away what from the past. So after our son was 3 years, I have to start again to work, and by destiny I made also my master degree in photography. And during this time, when I was at home with my kids, and found out a good work as a freelancer for several journalists. I mean, I was trying to put myself as a freelancer and working as a freelance photographer, and I got a good work in a newspaper, daily newspaper. I made also other works for several companies. I was working for Swarovski company, for tourism. I made some different catalogs, and during this time as a photojournalist, around 7 years, they were calling me to many different official events, and I have really learned a lot. And during this time I tried also, because I have got enough money to travel, I wanted to search again about this holy man in India, and I thought that I could make a documentation about them. And so the journey into Hinduism and into this subject become always deeper and deeper, because I met a Hindu nun from Germany, while I was traveling with my son Amir. He was 5 years old in this time. We went to Rishikesh and to Lakshman Chula. Lakshman Chula is a very known place where people go to make retreat, to learn yoga very deeply, and it is also the first point of this sacred pilgrimage in the Himalaya mountains. So we met Yamunagiri, this Hindu nun from Germany, in an ashram there in Lakshman Shula. She normally was up in the mountains in a cave because she was living 11 years in a cave. It was an order from her master that later became also my master. And she was by occasion there because when she has the monthly women stuff, she has to go down to clean up herself and not stay in the cave between close to the sadhus, I mean the female, the men. And during this time she was always down. So this was an occasion to meet her, and from this time we started to have a very deep relationship. And through her also I have known much more about the yogis, and during the next 7 years, let's say, we worked on a book that is called Change of Dimension, and we hope that we can publish this book one day, inshallah. But during this time also I went to Vrindavan. It was the birthplace of Lord Krishna, where the widows are living, and about this I was talking with you before. And yes, and I don't know if I was talking about this moment when our flat took fire. While I was working, my son was at home. In this time he was 16 years old, and I was having a Hindu temple in my living room. Maybe I forgot some incense or something else, I don't know. And I went to work, and our flat took fire. And when I came home, my son was already in the hospital. My son called the fire department, and they told him, please don't go out of the room because it's dangerous. We will check out where your mother is. And then they called me, and they told him that I am not at home. He must not be afraid. I am at work, and they come to take him out from the window. When I come home, everything was destroyed. My equipment, my developers, everything apart, and the temple was destroyed. And on the ground there was the Holy Quran, open, white, shining, and I have got this Holy Quran in Arabic and German in Konya 2004. And this happening was 2008, and I was looking at this Holy Quran and was thinking, okay, must be a sign. Maybe I have to look deeper inside this scripture and have to read it. And I started to read this again in German, in my language, in German, again and again and again. And in this year I have also 3 exhibitions in Egypt, and I went there, and from my heart I converted into Islam. I don't know, somehow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has opened my heart, and I was always praying to him, if I now become Muslim, I will try really hard to become a good Muslim. But if you want me to become a good Muslim, then you may guide me to the rightly guided people who are really practicing Islam in the way that it has to be. Please guide me to people who can teach me to learn correctly and to teach me everything that I need to do my obligation, prayers and everything. So from this time, a very beautiful journey starts, and this maybe is another. I'm taking some sand because everywhere I go, I take some sand with me to bring my home, and sometimes I use it for bukhur also, to put the bukhur on it. So it's the first time that I take sand from Saudi Arabia. Yeah, maybe the mystical path started when I have been with my husband, my first husband, in Sicily. One yoga teacher from Turin, he guided us to a place in the center of Sicily where have been caves, and time ago Christian hermits, ascetics living there, and he brought us there to stay there, to experience, to live just only in nature. There was a river. It was not a big place. It was a small valley, and natural orange trees have been there, and we brought with us some kilo rice and some lentils, and we cooked on the fire. We brought a pot for it, and we stayed there for maybe 2 weeks. And he said, this yoga teacher, he told us after these 2 weeks he will take us from there, because we don't know how we arrived in this place. So we were staying there. There was only one other guy. He was from Sicily. He was a student of biology. He was there to research the plants and the animals there, and he was staying in the other side of our cave where we have been. During this time, I was trying this seeds, Stechapfel, and because this guy from Sicily, he said, if you don't mind, you can try it, and we will see what's coming out of this. And I took this because only me, because he said that maybe my husband has to take care about me during this time I take these seeds. And I took these seeds, but maybe I took too much, because in the beginning my heart was pumping like very, very fast. I felt not very well. The first day was horrible, let's say, but the next day, I I I experienced, or I started to feel like if I'm not in this world. I mean, I had some visions. I saw my husband, like if he was my father. His looking. One moment I saw my husband, another moment I saw my father, and we were walking. Of course, he was taking care about me, because we have to walk to the river to make our shower and everything, morning walk and cooking and everything. But I felt myself like if I cannot walk properly because of this effect of these seeds. But during this time, I had also, let's say, some natural visions. Like I was thinking that I could talk with the animals, little animals around us, because they have, like, I was imagining that they grow up, and I directly talk to them. Yeah, it was a very unnormal experience. The book of Carlos Castaneda, they used to talk about these seeds. So I was remembering that I was reading this book. For this also, I thought I will try these seeds, because if this guy, he is a student of biology, he must know how much seeds I can take. And also he was very serious. He said that my husband should take care about me during this time, because maybe I will get some problems, and he has to care about me. So I think it took maybe three days and nights that I was really not, let's say, in our reality. I mean, in this, not in our world. I understood that I entered in different dimensions or different worlds, or maybe just my imagination was looking different at the world. But the fact that also sometime I was not able to walk properly, because your balance, I mean, maybe your balance is not, it's not stable, because your mind is somewhere else. I mean, mind and body may be somehow separated, and you have some visions and you think you are somewhere else, but in reality you are in this world, and you are walking on the ground or on the grass, or you go to the river, but somebody has to take care about you, because sometimes you don't know where you make your next step. So this was my first, let's say, great experience, and this made me think a lot about that my father passed away, let's say maybe half year before, and I was always asking where he went, or why he passed away suddenly, and I missed him so much. So maybe these experiences that I have seen him in these visions, because in these visions sometime I was also talking to him, and he was telling me that I have not to be afraid, I'm not away, everything is natural, everything is natural, everything is one, and we have to leave. But also, if I am leaving this world, I'm here, I'm present, I'm not away. But I couldn't understand this at this time, only after when I went with my husband to India, after we have been in Sicily, and it was our first trip for him as well as for me. This virtual or these visions with my father continued in some way. I mean, we had the time to stay in different places and to experience different religions, and during all this time I was questioning, still questioning myself, where my father has gone, why he passed away so suddenly, and what will be after this life, where we will go after this life. Because in this time I was Christian, and slowly both of us, we entered to Hinduism, because my husband and me, both of us, we were interested in religion, in yoga, in spiritual practices, in music. So when we were traveling in India, it was in Dharamsala. We went to a small valley on the riverside, and we were sleeping there in a very simple room. There was nothing inside. There was just the ground. It was just that we don't sleep outside because we were afraid of animals and such things. So there I remember I woke up one time, and I was talking with my father. My father came to me, like, let's say, personally, and again he said to me, don't be afraid, and don't mind, and don't think too much. I'm away, but I'm away, but not away. So I have another form. I'm not, my body is not with you, but you can reach me anytime, like this. And I don't know with whom I could talk about this. I also don't talk about this with my husband. I wrote a diary in this time during this travel in India. Later, when I have shown this book to my mother, because I wanted that she know my experience about this, that my father passed away so early and suddenly. She didn't understand. She didn't understand these experiences, and she was thinking I'm mentally ill. And she brought me to a closed hospital, like, let's say, psychiatry, where they put me under heavy psychopharmacal medicine. I had a lot of pain in this time.